Hello everybody and welcome to another Twilight Zone review. Today it is Season 2, Episode 22, Long Distance Call, written by Charles Beaumont and William Idelson, and starring Billy Mooney as Billy. Boy, that's really creative. Well, the first thing I'll say is that this is the last of the videotaped episodes, which is a small win for everyone in my opinion. And I'll also say it's arguably the best videotaped episode, maybe. This episode has its ups and downs, and it deserves credit for how serious it takes its subject matter, but maybe some criticism as well. So I'll get into that right now. We start in a family house, simple enough, and it's the birthday party of a little boy named Billy, and we can tell that his grandmother's not well at all, and that she's also very attached to him. She makes a speech to him saying just that, basically, and she buys him a toy phone and tells him he'll be able to talk to her even after she's gone. And we go to the next scene, and the grandmother's doing even worse, and we find out she's not going to make it. And little Billy wants to see her, and with some reluctancy, the parents let him see her before she passes away. And she tells Billy that she'll be lonely, and she wishes he could go with her. Wow, that's an interesting thing to say. Now, they make it set on medicine, and I'm not sure if she really knows what she's saying or not, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of a disturbing thing to tell a little kid. She also tells her son that Billy's her son now, and that, you can tell that she doesn't really like the wife too much either, because she tells the son, I lost you to a woman, so all this is a little harsh, but she's on medicine, so maybe not. I don't know about this. But we go to the next scene, and the mother's really concerned that Billy and the grandmother were too close. She says it's not really natural. The father says, she didn't mean it. She's just an old woman that got attached to a grandchild. Fair enough. And then the mother hears Billy on the phone, and he's talking to the grandmother. So she's very concerned and freaks about this, but I guess doesn't think too much more of it right now. So we go to the next scene, and the parents are coming home from the funeral of the grandmother, which Billy didn't attend. And the babysitter is there looking very nervous. There's also a Mr. Peterson there, and he says, Billy ran out in front of my car and almost got hit. And, the babysitter saying, I didn't, very worried that she's going to get blamed, which she doesn't. And the father says, why would he run out in the street? I don't know. And Mr. Peterson says, you need to have a talk with him about this whole thing. So the parents do talk to him basically about this, and he's talking again on the phone to the grandmother, and the father says, I know that it's just make-believe, but don't do it in front of your mother because she gets nervous about it. So Billy says, okay, I won't. Well, we go to nighttime, and you can tell the mother's still very concerned about everything going on. And she hears Billy on the phone again, but this time she grabs the phone from him and she freaks out, and so does Billy. He complains about something happening to his phone. And the mother, the father comes in and says, what the heck's going on? The mother says, I heard her breathing on the phone, meaning that maybe Billy really was talking to her on the phone. And it also turns out that they go outside, and little Billy has jumped in the pond. And so we go to the next scene, and we're not really sure if Billy's going to make it or not. They're trying to revive him. And, they don't show the kid during this, which I think was a good move. And the mother saying, she took him, and, the father talks to her, and tries to calm her down. And then he goes up and talks on the phone and pleads with the grandmother if she really loves Billy, she'll let him go and she'll let him live his life, which has just started. And this scene's a little overdramatic and too long, honestly. It's not really completely believable. I know the intent was to get to the climax, to have, the grandmother let him live, and not take him for herself, but it's a little overdramatic and overdone. So it turns out that Billy revives, of course, because did we really think something was going to happen to a kid on a early 60s TV show? I mean, really. So Billy revives and he's okay, and that's how the episode ends. In some ways, I respect the fact that they took this subject matter seriously, but in other ways, the whole episode just comes across as kind of meh. I've used that meh before, and it really does. It's over dramatic in spots. I like the idea of a toy phone that can be real and communicate, but the way it's done, we never hear the grandmother on the other end, and I think that loses some effect. And just Billy's whole attitude towards it, it's kind of just weird. I mean, he really just buys and accepts it right away, which a kid might in a fantasy setting. I don't know. This episode just has, the best way to say it is this episode has a creepy mood, which is to its credit, but it's not a creepy mood I enjoyed. It's more of an uncomfortable mood. And maybe that was the goal of the episode, and if it was, well done. But unfortunately, that makes me not enjoy the episode that much. If it would have been a little bit more of a fantasy and not taken so literal and serious, I think it would have worked better. That's just me personally. And so this episode's in the middle for me. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. No more videotaped episodes, so that's a small step forward for humanity. And 2.5 out of 5 for Long Distance Call. Check it out if you want. Yeah, it's fine. Thanks.